Stay connected
with Pop Topics.
Hi, my name is Mina Wahab, and today we are here in Los Angeles, California at the 2018 POLITICON. Right now, America is so polarized when it comes to virtually everything. Gun reform, education, healthcare, abortion, and even our president right here. But can't we all just get along? Let's find out.
Look at where we are in the world. There are minority groups all around America who continue to face grievous oppression, and though a lot of advocacy has been done in the past few years, we have to confront the sad reality that very little has actually been achieved, and for a lot of these minorities, things are still as bad as they always were. Necessarily then, the team that will win this debate is the team that can prove which world is better for these minorities and improve lives for them. And by that we mean the team that can prove actual, tangible policy reform or change that incrementally makes lives better for minority groups. The claim you're going to get from government or proposition is to tell you that identity politics distracts from the effort of minorities gaining political traction, and it's bad for America on a philosophical level.
Hi everyone, we are here with Nish after an amazing debate about identity politics in which UCLA, the team that he's a part of, won, my alma mater. Very exciting.
Hi.
How do you feel right now?
Oh, I feel lovely. For instance, Friday night I had a show. I was playing a concert, and Professor Miller calls me to do POLITICON, and I'm like, the last thing I want to do is wake up early on Sunday morning and come to POLITICON and do a debate, you know? But that I did, I'm so glad. I got to see some amazing speakers. I met some individuals who are running companies. For instance, that woman that I was talking to runs this company called Hear Me, Not Fear Me, and just interested in how minorities might better advocate for themselves. That stuff really excites me. You know, hearing Ben speak earlier was really exciting. I don't necessarily agree with him in a lot of things, but listening to a speaker like that excites me.
Yeah, very cool. I mean, you talked a lot about identity politics. Were the views that you expressed in the debate your actual views in real life?
Totally. I'm one of those debaters that says, okay, well, you don't get to choose what you debate, but you can definitely choose how you frame what you debate to accurately reflect your own ideals. I think nobody should ever speak something that isn't their truth, that doesn't come from their heart.
What do you think about, do you think a lot with what's going on with the two-party political system, how we're kind of categorized in two different lumps and there's no nuanced difference? We kind of choose one or the other. Do you think that heavily relates with identity politics right now?
The biggest problem I think any human being faces is polarization. When you already have a set of ideas about what the other side is like, you're not going to listen to them. And the reason why there's so much antagonism is because we have preconceived ideas about what the arguments on the other side is like, because of this weird, like schizoid dichotomy that we've created. I would suggest everybody ground themselves and seek inward rather than outward for senses of meaning. Okay. You know? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Nish. Appreciate it. I'm here with Ben Glebe, and we just finished the panel discussion, We the People. You did such a great job, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Using comedy and humor to kind of like alleviate the tensions and kind of like bring everything down a bit, but while still making a point and getting your point across in a really articulate manner. Teach me your ways.
Thank you for saying that. You know, it gets heated, but I'm a comedian, so my aim is always to try to find ways to foster conversation through humor. I feel like humor is the best way to cut through the truth, because when you laugh, you know it's resonating in a real way with somebody. So if you can just throw in a joke that still comes from the perspective that you believe in the thing you want to say, it makes it a lot easier to calm down situations and to continue a conversation, I find.
What would you say to people who think that humor is utilized to make light of situations and deflect? How do you like kind of walk that line and not take away from the gravity of a situation and still use comedy in a way that's very effective and poignant?
Sometimes it's a good question. Sometimes it is that as well, but I find that it only is that if the whole content of a show is that. If somebody's deflecting with a quick joke to lighten the tension, and then it goes right back to something of substance, I think it doesn't affect the substance. In fact, it enhances it. It kind of lets people reset for a moment and then go right back to it. So it really just depends on the way that you employ it. If it's constantly making jokes every second about everything, and also it's the content of the joke. Is the content of the joke meaningful and about an issue and it still espouses your belief, or is the content just being a dick, basically?
Right. How do we actually hear each other out when we automatically think that someone's beliefs are in opposition to our own existence?
You just have to be willing to do it. You have to remember people's common humanity. And so shows like We the People, like we just did, which people can actually listen to the full audio on my podcast. Last Week on Earth, I put all the audio of it on there. And come see our live show at the Improv, our next one, November 20th. When you do shows that actually foster conversations between both sides, that is the way. People are so stuck in their echo chambers and their own side and only want things that validate their point of view. So it's very important to force yourself to have uncomfortable conversations, to listen to them, to be part of them. On Twitter, I follow lots of conservatives, even though I'm more on the liberal side of the spectrum, because I just think it's always good to question your assumptions and to question your beliefs. If you're afraid of hearing other opinions, maybe your opinions are not very strong.
You're here at POLITICON, and you know, a lot of people have opinions when it comes to mixing celebrity with influence and getting involved with politics. A lot of people believe celebrity should stay out of politics. Other people believe that you should always use your platform for whatever it is you want to accomplish in the world. What is it that you want to accomplish with your platform?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of been brought up off and on all weekend here. There's something unique about the messaging behind that. And so if I think you're categorizing me as a celebrity. So just if
you are a celebrity.
If that's the assumption we're going under, I think at the basic level, I'm also a human and I'm also a person. And so the messaging this week from both sides have been to go out and vote and to share and to advocate. I don't think that's fair then to say, oh, but if you have a platform, or hey, if you are well known, that doesn't apply to you. You can't speak out. So for me, I think it's my right. It's also my responsibility to go out and vote and to advocate on the things I believe. And right now, the things I believe, I really want to I push for empathy. I want for people to listen to each other again. I want for really good conversations and dialogue and debate and arguments to exist, and in a space that doesn't become yelling and doesn't become a victim mentality, but it's just discourse. And I think that would be something that's missing even this weekend. I think it's missing in the life that I live and that I see around me. So I want empathy on both sides.
What happens when, you know, we're here in the United States and we believe in freedom of speech and we have the right to exercise our First Amendment? What happens when that speech becomes toxic or hateful or oppressive in some way to other groups of people, such as minorities, immigrants, kind of with what's going on in the world right now? Do they still have a right to express those opinions? And how do you have a dialogue with people whose views so clearly affect your very own existence?
Well, I definitely think you still have a right to voice your opinion. I think the difference, and maybe the biggest repercussion, is that people stop listening when you start speaking in hateful, demeaning, divisive ways. It's just not intelligent. It's not the way to have any type of conversation. And so I think one of the biggest repercussions of that is not only the personal hurt that somebody feels when you speak down to them or you speak against them. That's not fair to that person. But the person doing it still has the right to say it. However, people just stop listening, and so it's not helpful. It's not healthy. It's not wise. It's not fruitful. So I don't know why we continue to do it. I don't know about you, but I have yet to listen to anybody in my life that just starts yelling. Like, I don't hear it, right? Like when somebody has something they're passionate about and they just start speaking and they're criticizing and they're attacking, it doesn't sit with me. It goes in one ear and out the other. But if somebody sat down and say, hey, I have a problem with you, I have a problem with what you believe, and this is why, and I want to talk to you about it, well, I would listen all day. We could have that. And so I think we've just lost it. I think we've gotten so angry and so quick to temper that we've just lost the ability to converse.
Earlier we posed the question, can't we all just get along? But it's a little bit more complicated than that, because when someone else's ideology and core beliefs is in complete opposition to your very own existence, that is when trouble arises. So the only thing we can really do now is express our opinions and go out and vote November 6th. I'm Mina Wahab. You've just been buzzed.
Stay connected
with Pop Topics.